Adam Jelm, the Education Outreach Coordinator, doing a mid-season update for the Education and Outreach Program. Just a quick recap on the Education Outreach, kind of our guiding documents that we go by. We have the big 10-year watershed management plan. That looks at kind of general areas of focus. And we break that down into the comprehensive education outreach plan. That's more of a 5-year plan, and that's kind of bigger strategies. And then we go down to the yearly education outreach implementation plan. It goes into specific actions, activities, tracks the program metrics. So we will go right into kind of the different activities we have going in the program. Start with our website. We did some remodeling on the website. We're always tweaking it a little bit, updating it. If you can see last year, total monthly average, about 600 people, give or take, and then engagement rate was about 50%. So users are people that are going to it. Engagement rate means that they're opening something, they're reading something, they're interacting with it. And then in 2025, you can see our monthly averages so far, all over the place. January 600, February about 1,000, March we had 1,500, and then April down to 800. So engagement rate, anything over 50% is good, 60% higher is great, and 70% is unheard of. It's excellent. And we tend to be over the 50% mark, and even over 60% sometimes. So what that means is people that are going to the website usually know what they're after. So they're going there for a specific item, clicking on it, interacting with it, whether it's a permit form, whether it's board meeting materials, whether it's an education workshop flyer, things like that. So people that are going to the website know what the heck they're after, and they're clicking on it. So top topics of the pages tends to be the events and news. People are checking what we got going on, and then the board meeting materials. And the next is this contact information for the staff and for the board, and then the employment, which a lot this spring. We've posted several jobs on there, so a lot of folks have been on there. Last year, 2024, it was about 50-50 for new users and returning visitors. In 2025 so far, we have a lot more new visitors going on there. About 2/3 of the visitors are new on there. And then our constant contact, kind of our social media, social marketing. Monthly averages, about 321 contacts are involved with our mailings and things like that. Open rate is about 50%. And our contact growth is 92. So we have about 92 people, a gross of 92 people that have joined our mailing lists this year so far in 2025. We had a big push after our Ice Ridge workshop. We had 100 some people sign up, and we had a few people that have discontinued the constant contact as well. So we lost a few, but overall we're up 92 people. And again, we have 321 email contacts on all our lists. The 3 lists that we actively use: Natural Shoreline News, that's a brand new one this year. Then we have our general news and events, and then our board meeting materials. And you can see people can sign up for multiple mailing lists. The open rate, 50%, not great, but not horrible either. My interpretation of that is a lot of the stuff that we post to the email marketing that we send out, people can read it. It's a one-pager, so they don't necessarily have to click on it. When it comes in their email, they can read it without necessarily opening it. Also, we send out we have a lot of board meetings, a lot of special board meetings, and board meetings in general. So a lot of that material gets out there, and people aren't necessarily opening that as well. Yeah. And then kind of Facebook updates, analytics on that. So about 2,300 views per month. 360 people are reaching, like going into it, looking at it, interacting. Is about 20. So each month, about 20 people are clicking on stuff, opening links, going to the next step. We do daily schedule posts during the week, plus we post a lot of partner and other relevant information, news, things like that. And by far, our most popular posts are on Tuesdays, we do native plants, and then Wednesday, we do wildlife. And you can see attached here on the bottom of the screen is kind of those posts. So kind of infographics, interactive, there's links on there they can go to. And then community education, one of our big pushes is more workshops, more events. And community education's been a great way that we've been partnering with other entities in the community and offering classes. And Chisago Lakes Community Ed is one, Forest Lake Community Ed's the other one, and then Hardwood Creek Library. So those are the three that we're doing most of our community ed programming with. And you can see the list of classes that are on there that we've done so far this spring. We had 5 workshops that were canceled due to low registration. I tell folks we won't do a class if we have less than 8. But overall, 10, 15 people, give or take, is what we've had for most of these classes. The classes we've canceled give us some insight as well. Most of the classes that we've canceled have been in Forest Lake, and most of them have been on wetland and shoreline plants or shoreline restoration, which is one of our biggest pushes for the next year or two. So we need to figure out a different way to market those, different way to do those classes, because those are the ones that folks aren't signing up for. The other rain barrels, native plant classes, those kind of stuff, people are signing up and attending. And then in each class, we don't charge anything. The watershed doesn't charge anything for those classes, but our partner entities might. For example, Chisago and Forest Lake, they charge $20, give or take, for the classes. And that covers their advertising, the catalog, their venue space, that kind of stuff. And those participants, they each get a information folder that we put together with a lot of relevant handouts, materials, our general information in there. They also get a native plant book, and then we do a drawing for native plant seeds or native plants in there. So the folks that are spending $20 for the class, they get that returned to them with different product and information. And then our bigger workshops, so our watershed connections this spring, we did the carp control one, we did the climate with the DNR, EOR presented the alum treatment one. Those 3, we had about 20 people, give or take, for those. Those were at the Senior Center in Forest Lake. Pretty good attendance, I think, for our first round. Our Flowering Rush one, which was scheduled for the 28th, April 28th, we canceled that one due to low registrations. There might be a couple reasons behind that. The weather was horrible that night. Also, it's in the spring. People are outside doing a lot of stuff. So a couple reasons behind that low cancellation versus the ones that we had in the winter. Not a lot going on. People were attending those. And then our biggest one, probably the biggest event that the Comfort Lake's done, is the Ice Ridge Workshop. Unbelievable attendance for that. That was 260 people. That was at the American Legion. That's the photo that's there, pretty much standing room only. And also following that workshop, that's where we had about 100 people sign up for our email listservs. And then we had about 40, 50 people sign up to do a site visit as well after that one. So watershed staff got out and looked at their property. We also partnered in some other events with community partners. So the Forest Lake Expo, we had a booth at that one. Great event that was at this spring. Hundreds of people were there. We probably had 100 some stop by our booth, grab some information, chat with us. Also the Forest Lake Association annual meeting, Comfort Lakes Association annual meeting, the Chisago Master Gardener Spring Garden Day. I presented a couple sessions on that, and then we had some informational materials there. The Hardwood Creek, we're doing library story time. That's kind of a family activity. We did our floodplain meetings, did some activities with Lower St. Croix. So we're getting out there helping our partners out as well. In progress, kind of what we got going on. Other stuff is we do a monthly email to the lake associations, Comfort Lake and Bone Lake. That email, it's kind of a compilation of activities that we have going on in the watershed, things we got going on, project updates. And Comfort Lake and Bone Lake, that goes out to the board president the first week of the month. Forest Lake goes out to all the board members, and then Moody Lake has a kind of a list of folks on the lake and partners on the lake that list goes out to. Very well received, lots of great feedback from those. We're also going to start doing a city staff one. So along with the Lake Association, Wyoming, Scandia, Forest Lake, we'll do a city staff email, kind of same thing, updates, programs, projects, what we got going on. Media articles. So we've been sharing quite a few media articles with the local newspapers. It's up to them whether they pick them up and actually publish them. But we're going to expand that to a weekly schedule. So every Monday, we'll have an article going out to a different newspaper. Again, up to them whether they publish it or not, but we're providing them lots of good information. And we certainly send out other news releases, press releases as warranted if we have information, projects, that kind of stuff. Quarterly newsletters. So we're doing 4 newsletters. The spring one we're working on right now, that's kind of an update of the annual report. That one will go out in the next couple of weeks. So a continuation of that. The spring one will be a paper document that's mailed out, and the other 3 newsletters are electronic. Education corner. So I've had some demand for kind of just a weekly update of what we got going on, news and events, and any relative information. So we're going to start doing that every Friday. I'll be doing a constant contact release with some education items, events, that relevant material, that kind of thing. And then the other big news, natural shoreline education outreach. We're partnering with More Engineering on that. So we're bringing in a contractor to help us out, reach more shoreline folks, get more natural shoreline awareness, as well as projects installed. Working on the contract right now with that. Probably in the next couple of weeks, we'll get that going, and then we'll start working on the game plan there. On the radar, kind of other events, Forest Lake Art in the Park. We have a booth every Tuesday night at the Forest Lake Art in the Park. Great foot traffic, great event, weather dependent, of course. But so every Tuesday, June, July, and August, we have a booth there. Different staff are there, different activities. We're working on project and site tours. So Moody Lake, kind of the Red Barn, Round Barn area, doing a site tour there, talk about the different projects, activities. The WJD6 projects, the iron enhanced sand filter and the wetland restoration. So we're going to do a tour of that this summer. North Shore Trail Nature Area, kind of a walk and talk up there. And then we're going to do some natural shoreline project tours, working with landowners that are happy to have folks come out and look at their projects and talk about them. So we're going to try to do 2 of those this year. Last year we did a couple and they were really well received. Forest Lake pontoon site tour and then a Bone Lake pontoon site tour. Last year we did a pontoon tour on Forest Lake along with the Citizen Advisory Committee. Well received. So we're looking at doing 2 of those again this year. And then our big event, State of the Watershed. And that's scheduled right now for September 30th at the Forest Lake American Legion. And then again, workshops, community ed workshops, things like that, which a big push for that. You can see we have 25 already scheduled for this spring, summer into fall. Each entity does their catalogs or their years a little bit different. Some do spring, summer, fall, winter. Some just do summer and winter. So we kind of work with the partners, which is again, Chisago Lakes Community Ed, Hardwood Creek Library, and Forest Lake Community Ed. And here's the list of what we have so far. We've played with the times a little bit, evenings versus doing some more daytime events, and good success with both. So we try to switch up the times and offer different options for folks to attend. You can kind of see a lot of landowner focused classes like native shorelines, natural native plants, different BMPs folks in doing their properties, as well as we're doing some family classes, which is adults and kids coming in. We'll look at aquatic insects and building fishing lures, talk about fish and the water quality. Good connections there, getting kids and families involved. And that is all I got. That's my contact info.